Hello and welcome to Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest news from around the region and beyond.
We'll also look at college football across the nation and check out the latest happenings in pro sports. I'm Emily Connolly.
I'm Aiden Richardson, and this is Sports Update on EU TV.
Thanks for joining us on Sports Update today. We have the latest on Evangel Sports, and later I'll be talking with Maddie Neely about the start of the season. But let's first start with Aiden with Evangel football.
The Evangel University football team suffered their first setback of the season this past Saturday, suffering defeat at the hands of Culver Stockton with a final score of 38-35. The game had a rough start for Evangel as Culver Stockton scored 10 unanswered points. However, Evangel turned up the heat, rushing for 3 touchdowns and 143 yards in the first quarter. Culver Stockton's defense proved to be the deciding factor, as they forced 2 turnovers in the second period. Evangel kept fighting and refused to give up throughout the duration of the contest, as Cole Orchard led all tacklers with 11 stops, while Anthony Levirafon added 10 tackles of his own. Evangel running back Bryce Numa also had a great game, ending the game with a career high of 180 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Despite the effort shown by Evangel, Culver Stockton retained their lead till the end, giving Evangel a record of 2-1 for the season.
That's a tough game.
And we have a record of 2-1 still. I wouldn't say it's too tough yet, but we do need to be careful. What are your thoughts on not allowing this bad momentum to hinder us from moving forward?
Well, you definitely can learn from every game, no matter what the outcome. So I'm sure they'll just take, what they got in this game, and they'll put it to use to be better in their next one.
I agree completely. And if you look back at that game, defensively wasn't an issue. We had 11 stops, many tackles, so that wasn't the issue at all. I would say it's more of an offensive issue, or maybe just a little bad luck this game. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think that they probably have adjustments that they want to make, and I'm sure they will. So
I agree.
The offense will get better for sure.
It's a long season, and I still think we have a great season ahead of us.
Absolutely. On the other hand, women's volleyball did really good this weekend. Evangel Volleyball opened the Evangel Classic with a clean sweep in conference play against Culver Stockton on Friday night. On day 2, the team continued their winning streak with 2 more victories over Tabor and College of the Ozarks. Daisy Eklund led the team with 19 kills in the match against Tabor, and Tori Lowry followed suit with 20 kills against C of O later that day. EU absolutely dominated against the Bobcats with a .38 hitting average, and libero Aaron Russell racked up 17 digs. Evangel's current record is 8-4 as they hit the road tonight to take on Benedictine. Women's soccer played a challenging match against the Missouri Baptist Spartans, in the words of Coach Bruce Deaton. MoBap's 1-0 win was set when Gianna Gore scored early on, followed by a strong defensive effort that hindered the EU offense from taking more than 1 shot. While it was a tough loss, Dean believes that the team made beneficial adjustments to gain better control in the second half. Evangel will kick off Hart Conference play against Baker next Wednesday, September 15th.
Evangel University's men and women's cross-country teams kicked off their season in Nevada, Missouri at the Cotty College Invitational this past Friday night. Evangel's men's team prevailed that night, earning first place out of 5 teams. 2 of EU's top times were by senior Christian Davis, who ran the 8K with a time of 27 minutes 16 seconds, and senior Grant DeWitt, who finished the 8K with a time of 27 minutes 28 seconds. Davis and DeWitt placed first and second, respectively. On the women's side of things, freshman Skylar Adams finished the race with a time of 21 minutes 7 seconds, earning Evangel's best time, and 7th place overall. She was followed by freshman Reagan Smith, who finished the race with 21 minutes 42 seconds, earning 14th place overall. Another dominating performance from all of our Evangel teams. We started off with, cross country, and my question to you is, if you noticed, in the men's side of things, it was a senior-led team. But on the women's side of things, it was the freshmen who had the best time. So on the men's side, are they not planning ahead? Because in a year, those seniors are going to be gone. They're going to have to move on.
Absolutely. It's so important that coaches develop, athletes as they come in. So I'm sure this coach is looking for recruits that are going to be, exceptional. But when you come into the collegiate level of sports, it's different. It's faster paced, it's more competitive. So definitely he's going to have to really work on them, in the preseason.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then when we look at Evangel volleyball, 8-4. What a great start to the season. And throughout all those games, Evangel has just looked really cohesive, like a really solid team. So how do we keep that momentum going? We have a couple games coming up. Do you think that's another win for Evangel, or do you think that the beginning of the season momentum is going to slow down a little bit?
Yeah, Evangel's got a game on the road tonight against Benedictine, and then they have 2 home games, one against Park on Friday and then Mid-America on Saturday. Those will be highly competitive games. The conference for the volleyball team is tough. They've got several, top 25 teams, but they're looking really good and really dominant. I think they've got a shot at the national tournament this year.
Let's hope so, and let's go Evangel. Coming up later, we'll be checking out some of the college games that were played this past weekend.
And in just a few, I'll be here with Madison Neely from the cheerleading team, who will be telling us about the beginning of their fall season. Stay with us.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow.
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Welcome back to Sports Update. Fall sports have started, and it looks very different than it did last year. Here with us today is Madison Neely to tell us about how the season is going. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Maddie, you're a freshman this year.
Yes.
So far, how's your semester started?
It's been really good. With the cheer team, we've been practicing together and going to our home games and performing, and it's been really good together.
Great. So tell us, what position are you?
I'm a base, so I'm underneath holding everybody up.
Awesome, awesome. So coming into Evangel, you were excited to be a cheerleader and be a base. What brought you here?
Really, cheer did bring me here. I did competitive cheer for the past couple years, and I cheered at my high school my sophomore year, and I was ready for something new. And I took this as a step of faith, and I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm glad that I can continue on my journey with the cheer team.
That's great, that's great. So how's practice been?
It's been good. It's been a little bit different than what I heard it was last year. We've been practicing twice a week with the whole team, and it's a lot of continual reps and stuff like that, but it's been really good, and the chemistry of the team is really good. So we're just one big family right now, so that's always good.
That's great. So you're talking about the chemistry of the team. So are there any skills as far as like stunting and things like that you can share with us that you're working on as a team?
Yeah, so right now we're working on a arabesque to a back walkover out.
Okay.
So she would go up on one leg, and then we would flip her out, and she would do like a back walkover out of the whole stunt. And that is something that is going to probably be in our homecoming routine.
In the homecoming routine,
Yes.
Awesome. What all is in a homecoming routine?
Just a lot of our harder stunts and stunts that we have to work a lot harder for. Things that are a little bit cooler than we would do at a football game, and a lot of tumbling skills. So that's kind of where I come in, and I am a tumbler. So I do round off back handsprings, that kind of stuff in the routine. So yeah, that's really exciting.
Awesome. So you learning these skills growing up, how did that look at a gym?
It looked way different. The gym was a lot more fast-paced and a lot stricter. And so it was a big change coming to Evangel because I can kind of have my freedom and kind of do what I wanted to do in cheer, and I wasn't so closed down to a certain image.
Right. So are there any skills that you're working on growing in this season?
Yeah, I'm working on getting my back tuck for tumbling and my standing back handspring. And then we're just working on some more difficult stunting skills right now, so.
Awesome. And as a team, you show up to football games. What else does the cheerleading team do?
We do basketball games too.
Basketball?
Yes,
Okay.
home basketball games.
Do you perform at halftime? What does that look like?
We haven't yet, but at homecoming we will be performing at halftime, I believe. And we have a little homecoming routine that we're going to do, and the pep rallies and stuff like that, so.
Good, good.
Yeah.
So how have y'all been working as a team to build that chemistry and bond so that you can perform these really difficult skills?
We've been doing a lot of team bonding, and we've been doing a lot of outside stuff with our stunt groups and with our friends on the team. And it's been really kind of nice because we've been putting more effort forth with people that weren't in our group. So we've all been doing stuff with people that aren't in our stunt group because we're not as close with them. And so it's been really good to have everybody putting forth that effort.
Good, yeah. So just moving on with cheerleading and everything, what is the most difficult part that you would say is in your sport?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I think a lot of it is really hard. It is a very physical contact sport. You have to work out outside of practice. You have to condition yourself, and you have to have a lot of self-discipline to want to do something like that hard. And a lot of it is, yeah, the stunts are hard, and yeah, the tumbling can be hard, but it's a team, and doing it with a team can be kind of difficult sometimes.
Right, and I heard many times that cheerleading is a very dangerous sport. So
Yes.
what do you do to put safety first?
So we always practice with mats on the gym floor. We don't ever stunt without them. And tumbling, we practice with those mats too. But you kind of really have to listen to your body. And it's hard for me because I don't want to stop. I just want to keep going. But you have to listen to your body, and you have to listen to the cues that your body's sending you. And if something hurts, then you need to take a break, because that's something that can turn into something really big later on.
Right, and as a base, your flyer puts so much trust into you to catch them and make sure that they do not hit the floor. For you, how do you put that flyer's safety in your hands?
Yeah, so I always have my eye on the flyer. If she's not all the way up, my eye's always on her. And when we throw, I'm constantly watching her. I don't ever take my eyes off of her until her feet are on the ground. And I think that that's something that is really important. But I also think that being able to see where your flyer is in the air will help you to catch her in a safe way so she doesn't fall through or anything. So
that's very interesting. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Coming up, we'll look at the most impactful college games from the weekend. Stay tuned.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The Arkansas Razorbacks tore through the Texas Longhorns in the September 11th game in front of the 9th largest crowd in history of Razorback football. With over 74,000 people there, the Razorbacks rushed for 333 yards and led 16-0 at halftime. The Razorbacks walked out of the game with a final score of 40-21. With the new win, Arkansas now stands at a 2-0 in their rankings. With the Longhorns joining the SEC soon, they may now be considering the Razorbacks as rivals.
It was a huge upset this past Saturday when the number 12 ranked team, the Oregon Ducks, defeated the number 3 ranked team, the Ohio Buckeyes. Oregon accomplished this feat while missing Justin Flo and Kayvon Thibodeau, 2 of their best young players. Given the team rankings and Oregon being injury-plagued, it seemed to be an easy win for Ohio. However, Oregon had no plans of retreat or surrender. With the aid of some masterful play calling by offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead, quarterback Anthony Brown destroyed Ohio's defense with a beautiful offensive attack. The game ended with a score of 35-28. This upset could very well change the course of college football for the entire season to come. The Green Bay Packers lost their first game to the New Orleans Saints in a 38-3 blowout. The Packers, led by veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers, looked completely lost as the Saints absolutely dissected their offense and defense. Green Bay's head coach, Matt LaFleur, called the effort embarrassing, acknowledging his failure at getting the team properly prepared, but also placed some of the blame on Aaron Rodgers. LaFleur said that Rodgers played the worst game of his Hall of Fame career. While it is just one game, fans are already beginning to wonder if Father Time is finally catching up with one of the greatest of all time. Is this the season that we see the downfall of the legendary Aaron Rodgers? We will have to wait and see what this season holds.
The Kansas City Chiefs conquered the Cleveland Browns 29-33 on September 12th in the first game of this season. The Browns held the higher score during the first half of the game with a halftime score of 22-10. But the Chiefs pulled through in the second half, scoring 10 points in the third quarter and another 13 in the fourth, while the Browns only scored another 7 points, bringing the Chiefs home with the win. The Chiefs are currently 1-0.
It's an interesting game because for so long the Browns were looked at as the bottom ranked. You know, they were the worst team in the NFL for a long time. But to see them even holding in with the Chiefs, it just shows the massive improvement of the Cleveland Browns. And I think that's going to be an exciting season for both teams.
Absolutely. The Chiefs were in Missouri, so we have to root for them.
That's right.
We're a little biased, but the Cleveland Browns, what a game. What
a game indeed. And then on the other side of the coin, you have Aaron Rodgers. What happened? One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, without a doubt, is looking like a joke. You know, we've seen him play at such a high level for so many years, but like I said, is this the end of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? You know, he looked completely lost and honestly like a rookie out there. So what do you think is going to happen the rest of the season?
It's devastating. Hopefully he'll pull it together, The team is depending on him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's time now to announce the Sports Update Evangel Player of the Week. This week, we highlight Christian Davis.
Our Evangel Player of the Week is cross-country player Christian Davis. Senior Davis is from Lakeland, Michigan, and earned Hart Conference Runner of the Week for the week over the weekend at the Cottony College Invitational. Davis claimed victory in the men's 8K with a run of 27 minutes, 16 seconds. Alongside Davis, 5 other Evangel runners placed top 10, sending Evangel cross country home with a team title. The Evangel football team is playing Friday, September 17th against William Penn and Saturday, September 25th against Grandview in Des Moines, Iowa.
Evangel volleyball takes on Benedictine tonight in Kansas, while Friday and Saturday they have home games against Park and Mid-America.
Evangel women's soccer has a game September 15th against Baker and Saturday, September 18th against Graceland.
Men's soccer will be playing Wednesday, September 15th against Baker and Saturday the 18th against Graceland.
Let's go, Evangel. Well, that's all the time we have for today for Sports Update. I'm Aiden Richardson.
And I'm Emily Conley. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. This has been Sports Update on EU TV.